Please subscribe and hit the notification button. Also, just a praise report to everyone. We just finished our 200th video. So if you're new to the channel, please check out a few of my older videos. I cover several topics within Scripture, including the Torah movement, the anti-Yeshua movement, end times theology, the Trinity versus the one true El, and much more. Thanks. So, what does the Bible say about gender identity? Our modern society has made it clear that they want to discuss and bring awareness to gender identity politics and to promote the LGBTQ plus movement. As believers in Yeshua as Messiah and followers of the Torah as truth, let's take a look at what the law says about gender and our roles in those genders. Genesis, the first book of the Bible, establishes what genders Yahweh has made. Genesis 1 verse 27. So Elohim created man in his own image. In the image of Elohim, he created him. Male and female, he created them. Genesis 5 verse 2. He created them, male and female, and he blessed them and named them mankind on the day when they were created. Mark 10 verse 6, Yeshua said, however, from the beginning of creation, Elohim made them male and female. So, if you consider yourself a believer in the Bible, you should accept what the first book of the Torah says and what Yeshua Messiah backs up. If you identify as part of mankind, then you're either a biological male with an XY chromosome or a biological female with an XX chromosome. You cannot change those chromosomes. You cannot change genders. Your chromosomes are either male or female, and that does not change even after surgery. There's a saying, you can take the Chevy logo off of a Chevy truck and replace it with a Dodge logo, but no matter what, it's still a Chevy truck. Now, what are we called to do as male and females? Genesis 1 verse 28. Elohim blessed them, male and female, and said to them, be fruitful and multiply and fill the earth and subdue it. It's impossible to keep this commandment if you try to have a family with two biological women or two biological men. One biological male and one biological female are commanded to leave their mother and father and get married and have babies, to fill the earth and raise them up to fear Yahweh and worship Him. Just test it out. Put 100 women and 100 men on a deserted island, and in 100 years, you'll have a thriving community of men, women, boys, and girls. You're on your way to building a nation. Now put 100 trans women, that is, men who think and dress like women, and put 100 regular men on a deserted island, and in 100 years, you will have 200 skeletons. Science will test the bones and recognize it as 200 men who died on an island. If the lesbian, gay, trans movement was natural and good for society, then why would they go extinct within 100 years? Because it's not natural. It goes against our design and purpose as mankind according to Torah. There are liberal Christians who say that gender and sex are not the same. Sex is your physical identity. You are either male or female. But then gender is fluid. Gender is in the mind. You can identify within thousands of genders while still having your sex being male or female. Hence, they give out their gender pronouns, which again are in the thousands according to them. But again, simply look at Scripture. If you're a progressive liberal Christian who thinks that the LGBTQ movement is good and true, and tell me what Genesis says. There's never any mention of there being thousands of genders, or a male identifying as a female or non-binary. The only time a male dressed as a female is mentioned is when Yahweh forbids it and considers an abomination. Deuteronomy 22 verse 5. A woman should not wear a man's garment, nor shall a man put on a woman's cloak. For whoever does these things is an abomination to Yahweh your Elohim. Please check out a link below of a former LGBTQ member who repented and came to Yeshua I hope it's a sign of hope for anyone who wants to come to the truth and to live the way Yahweh created you to live. Thank you and shalom.